You don't have to over and over and over blabber yourself about things, which I'm very guilty of. Hello everybody, welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and in today's clip we're going to discuss a brand new Beauty Bay palette. More precisely, the Metamorphic palette. This is literally the duochrome dream. It looks stunning, and by the way, I am not only filming this episode, I'm actually filming a live at the current moment on TikTok, so you can actually see the behind the scenes and all the bloopers and all the repeated versions of my intros. You see them live on my TikTok, and I think that's gonna be really useful if you wanna just kind of like start your YouTube journey. I wish I had someone to see that, like to learn from them. So if you wanna see all the behind the scenes, definitely follow me on TikTok so you can always be notified when I'm going live, and who knows, maybe it's just gonna be me once again filming the behind the scenes of a YouTube episode. So this new palette opens much differently than the ones that we've seen, and they are limited edition. So we're gonna start by applying the Pillowiz base. I am gonna apply just a tiny bit, and I actually lost the nozzle. It's in here. But yeah, I'm gonna disperse the product. I don't want too much. I like a tiny bit just to give like some canvas and same color, so I can play around and make it a bit more pigmented and like stand out, if that makes sense. I just like the Pillowiz base, but I don't apply it like you would see on the Pillowiz page. Never. At least I wouldn't. I'm just gonna take a synthetic brush so I can get the excess. And as you can see, I dispersed it well enough that you don't even realize that I have a base. Now I think I'm just gonna set it quickly with a translucent powder. I don't have a nude eyeshadow in here, so I got you closer so we can start the show. So there are not that many matte shades in here in terms of what I can put into my crease, so I think I'm gonna start with Avatar, which is this muted, very gray sort of brown, but definitely I will call it more of a gray brown, definitely not brown gray, gray brown. So although in the palette this looks like gray brown rather than brown gray, when you apply it onto the lid, I don't know if it's my undertone of the skin or whatever, but it definitely looks brown with a quite heavy gray undertone, but it doesn't look gray at all. Even though in the pan it kind of looks gray in my eyes, I don't know. I mean, it's a very strange alien-esque palette, and I see that even with a simple goddamn brown. So that's interesting, but nevertheless, the blending is beautiful, seamless. It does what it does. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. So we have a proper gray in here, which is called System, and I think I'm gonna darken the outer edge of my eye, just because I want to make a quite smoky, grungy eye look. Take it, and you know what? Why am I not using this palette? See how it's kind of working in terms of mirror. Does it have any film? It does. So I was trying to find the best words to explain this gray, but I think I got it. I feel this gray has a blue undertone. It is quite like boom pigmentation, but also the undertone is quite unique, and that's how I'm feeling, that it might have a blue undertone. I might be wrong, but that's just my presumption. I'm taking a fluffier brush with no product just to blend everything. These blended like a dream. I don't know if you can properly see it. No, you definitely properly see it. It looks amazing. So you know the drill. I will try to take the shimmer with a brush, but I do personally like to apply them with a finger. The Beauty Bay formula is the one and only formula that made me accept that it's okay to just take the shimmer with a finger and apply it to the lid. I used to hate doing that, but now I just moved past it. I want the bling. So flat brush, oil. Doesn't pick up too well. I feel lately Beauty Bay is doing them like the shimmer formula even more creamier than before, which is not a bad thing in terms of payoff, but you have to scratch the actual pan rather than like press. Oh my god. It's always good. It's always a good payoff. Even with the goddamn brush, I always say this. Even with the goddamn brush, the payoff is just gorgeous. Oh my freaking god. This is stunning. This purple green duochrome is just what dreams are made of. Like, come on, look at the foiliness. I'm living for it. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Prism, which is this guy, and let me show you that it's really duochromatic, very angelic. It kind of resembles the Fenty Beauty highlighter, but in a very alien vibe. This is a very chunky formula, so I need to be careful when applying it into the inner part of my eye, inner corner. This is such an interesting duochrome shift because I felt when I got the swatch, it had pink and it had blue and it had white, but in combination with oil, because obviously oil was quite spread into the inner part as well. Now it's blue. It's literally blue, and I'm living for that. It is something that adapts on what you have underneath, and that's what a duochrome is meant to do, and that's what it does. It serves. Just gonna take this brush to blend the shimmer, spread it out. Let's take this shade, which is Phygital. This is what heaven looks in my head. It's a purple periwinkle kind of shade. Sad. It basically, because we have so much purple underneath, only the gold shows up, which is not bad, but yeah, I would definitely use the shade on its own separately. Look at the swatch. I don't know, it just looks very fairy, more than alien-y. Lastly, we have this shade called Future, and I'm gonna take it right in the inner corner of my eye. And after that, we're gonna do my eyeliner, zhuzh it up with some mascara, and then jump into the swatches. So now this is the final result. We can see the shimmeriness into the eyelids. I love how this looks, and also I added this pair of lash. This is the collaboration with Kia x Eyelure. You can find these in the Super Drugstore. She's done an amazing job. They are kind of like a half lash, so easy to apply. They are just like weightless, and they make this eye look stunning. Now let's move on to swatching this bad boy so we can see the shimmers in their full glory. So we have Future, Spill, Morph, Phygital, Reality, Prism, Convert, Oil, Avatar, Algorithm, Alchemy, Mirror, Tech, Parallel, Portal, and System. I love every single shimmer in this palette. The only one that I noticed, it might be a repeat from the Retro, I think it's called Retro Future. Retro Future is a different brand, Julia. Retro Babe, I think it's called the palette. There was a Retro something palette, and the shade that is repeated is Future, which is this one. If someone didn't buy that palette, they would never know that's a repeat, because that palette doesn't even exist anymore on the market. So I don't mind it. It's just obviously something for people that already own the shades to be wary of. But then again, if you just want to grab this one on the go, on your trip or whatever, you're not going to grab the other one as well. At least I wouldn't. I would just grab one palette and that's it. But yeah, they are stunning. 5, 6, so 6, 6, if my maths are not wrong. 6 duochromes and 6 normal extreme shine shimmer, which is not bad at all. I think it's amazing, given that you see brands like Danessa Myricks and Natasha Denona who do duochromes, but they are really expensive palettes. This is a fraction of the price. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you in the next one.